Hey everyone, you all might agree that most TVs come with a really bad speaker and we tend to buy a soundbar eventually for a better sound experience. But even though we know that a 5.1 sound system would be the best way to get an immersive sound, many of us choose a 2.1 soundbar due to space and wire constraints. But JBL has perfect solution for that. There are a series of JBL soundbars with detachable wireless rear speakers that give you the freedom from wires and take up hardly any extra space. I have one such soundbar system, which is the JBL 5.1. In this video, I will share the pros and cons of these wireless JBL soundbars so you can decide if you should upgrade your soundbar from 2.1 to a 5.1 or not. So this is the JBL 5.1 soundbar system and I am using this for the last 4 years. Now the primary reason I bought this soundbar system is the wireless connectivity. As you can see here, the main soundbar is connected to the TV via HDMI ERC, whereas the subwoofer I have connected it over here, placed near the couch. There is no need of any wires between these two. They communicate wirelessly and the connection is also very easy. As soon as you turn these on individually, they get connected, so it's pretty easy. Now, when we focus on the soundbar, this has two detachable rear speakers. It has a center speaker, a left and a right, so 3 speakers over here, and the next 2 channels in the 5.1 are over here on the ends. This is the surround right and this is the surround left. So these can be easily detached and placed behind your couch whenever you're watching anything, so you can have the surround experience. Generally, I place one over here and the other there so that they are near my ear level and I get the proper surround experience. The rear speakers get charged while connected to the soundbar and only when the TV is in the turn off mode or standby mode. There is a red light on the speaker to indicate charging. But when you disconnect and place it on the sofa, it uses the inbuilt battery. The battery generally lasts for around 7 to 8 hours in one go. So you can easily watch 2 to 3 movies and then plug it back again to the main soundbar so that they get charged in the night or when you are not watching anything. Also, you can charge these rear speakers using a micro USB. So if at all you want to keep it at a fixed location and don't want to keep connecting back to the soundbar, that can be done too. But it comes with a small limitation that I'll let you know in the cons. Now, the next positive thing about the soundbar system is the surround sound itself. Obviously, we are buying this for the surround sound experience, and this gives exactly that. These 2 small surround speakers, even though they look small, they pack a punch. These are actually a 30-watt speakers each, and these provide a very immersive experience while you're watching some movies or playing games on the TV. Whenever there's a bullet or a vehicle going from the right side to the left side, we could actually feel that. Even the ambient sounds like rain and storm, you actually feel like you are in that scene. Many a times you used to look out mistaking that the sound is coming from the outside. Now this cannot be recreated by just a soundbar, even if it's an Atmos one. You need to have physical rear speakers behind to get the true immersive experience. After using this, now I cannot go back to a setup without rear speakers. Now you can control the surround speakers with the remote. This level can go up to 6 and can be decreased up to -6. I generally keep it at 1 or 2 and that is more than sufficient for getting the experience. Also, these surround speakers can play the sound even when the audio source is just stereo. For example, you're playing some movie or series with just 2 channels. The JBL soundbar has the technology to upscale it to 5.1 and the ambient sound starts coming from the rear speakers, which is amazing.
I literally do not have time to list all.
One of the major advantages of the JBL soundbar systems is this subwoofer. This subwoofer is of 10-inch size and with an RMS of 300 watt. And this is the same subwoofer that you get with JBL Bar 800,000. And even I think the 1300 bar also gets the same subwoofer. This massive subwoofer helps in giving a proper weight to the action scenes and makes you feel like you are in one. We actually feel the couch shaking and trembling during any action scene. If you feel it's overpowering, you can always control the subwoofer with the remote. It can go up to level 30 and I use it at half of its value. I kept it beside the couch for better impact. Here's a small demo of how strong the bass can get even at 50% capacity. Now, the first disadvantage of the JBL soundbar is the lack of audio controls. You can see over here that we have the control for wireless surround sound and also the bass, but there is no option to control the center channel. So at times when the vocals are lower compared to the surround, you cannot control the voice alone. The JBL 5.1 doesn't have any app control, but even with the newer models that have app control, the options are still limited. The dynamic range control, which is generally called as the night mode, is available but hardly does anything. Basically, whenever you're watching a movie and you feel that the vocals are less compared to the background music, that is because of the sound design. But with the night mode or dynamic range compression, the soundbar should be able to manage that and keep the levels at check, so that you don't have to keep juggling between different volume levels during different scenes. But that doesn't happen on this soundbar. There is also no dedicated voice enhancement feature which can improve the vocals alone. With this price range, this soundbar should have had control for the center channels. As I mentioned before, these wireless surround speakers can be charged using the micro USB. So for people who want to fix these on the wall or on a stand permanently without connecting them back to the soundbar, this is great. But a disadvantage over here is that these have to be turned on manually by pressing this button every time you turn the soundbar on. The soundbar cannot wake these rear speakers from standby if connected with a wall adapter. Within 10 to 15 minutes of soundbar going into standby mode, these rear speakers get disconnected and it's a manual process to turn these on. Subwoofer doesn't have this issue, but the rear speakers do. So if you are planning to keep this wall mounted, you have to reach them every time to turn them on, which would be a big inconvenience. I'm not sure if this issue is resolved in the latest models, but do check that out before purchasing. So to conclude, the JBL surround soundbars are a very effective solution to give you a cinematic sound experience at home, which a regular or even a costly 2.1 soundbar won't be able to provide. Now unfortunately, JBL has discontinued this model recently and restricted the detachable raised speaker models only for the higher end Atmos versions like JBL 9.1 or Bar 800 or 1000, which all have the same subwoofer I showed you but have some extra drivers and top firing speakers with boosted overall RMS. So if you are okay to spend slightly higher price than the JBL 5.1, then you should check out the JBL 9.1 where you get 4 extra Atmos speakers for adding a vertical dimension to the viewing experience. I also recently upgraded my soundbar system to Samsung Q990C, which is 11.1.4 soundbar system with Atmos support. So stay tuned because I'll be making a video whether it is worth to upgrade from 5.1 to an Atmos soundbar or not.